Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Massy XO, and today is a quick video about how we see influencers talking about postpartum. All those things that you look at and all those things that you see, that's all fake. Fake. Like, there was a point where I was watching things, like my algorithm was like constantly showing me things about motherhood, new baby, and all those things, right? And I'm like, why? I get it, it's the algorithm, right? But I'm like, all this stuff is fake. Like, all they were doing was talking about how easy motherhood is, like the newborn stage, how easy it was for them to wake up in the morning, make themselves coffee, and look great by 6, 7 in the morning. Like, come on. Like, realistically, that doesn't happen to all of us. Like, I look like shit like the first few weeks, right? On the first few months. I'm 4 month postpartum. And I feel like right now I'm starting to feel a little bit more like myself. Like, I was wearing pajamas all day. Like, there was no way that I would be like looking glamorous at 6, 7 in the morning. Like, who does that? Like, that's not realistic. Unless they had like a team of like nannies, family on the clock taking care of that baby, you're not gonna tell me that they have the same experience as, let's say, us, right? Like, waking up in the morning because you have to, right? Not because you feel like you rested so much. Like, they make you believe like they had maybe like 6, 7 hours of nice sleep, when a newborn usually wakes up, at least in my experience with my 3 kids, they wake up at least 1 hour and a half or 1 hour and 45 minutes all night. Like, come on. And sometimes, when you're a new mom, you think or you assume that that's the reality, right? Because that's what people are feeding you. And as a mom of my 3rd child, it can become stressful to think that that is something that you have to achieve. A new mom might see this as something norm, but that's not the norm. So if this is your first time having a baby and maybe you're pregnant right now, just remember that is not the norm. And it is okay for the house to be chaotic, like a mess everywhere. Hopefully you get some help, because that's really important to have some help around the house, a really good support system. But everything is not going to look perfect, because you're still adjusting. Your body's adjusting. Your mind is adjusting to a new baby. The sleep deprivation is real. You're going to be tired. I'm still tired, and I'm 4 months postpartum. I'm trying to train her to sleep a little bit longer, but I'm still tired, right? So we have to have realistic expectations. And I feel like influencers nowadays are just making things look like this fantasy. And it could be scary for a new mom to think that that's how it needs to look. It doesn't need to look like that, because that's not the norm, right? People don't have, let's say, 24-hour care for their newborn or infant, right? Like, that's not realistic. It's usually the mom or the dad or both, taking time to take care of the baby during the night. So we have to make this more normal for people to understand. Like I said, if you're a new mom, you can't put these high expectations for yourself, because you're going to be in a process where you're going to feel weak physically, mentally. And when you have those expectations in the back of your mind, you're not going to feel your best, right? You're going to feel like you're failing as a mom. And I want you to know that that's not the case, right? This is a fake reality that people are feeding our new moms. And it's not okay. I feel like they need to be more transparent. They need to be more realistic. Having kids is a blessing, but it's hard. It's a lot of hard work. So we don't want people to fantasize it, like, or romanticize motherhood, because that's not realistic for the most of us. So I want you to know that you are doing a great job. And if you don't feel it, it's okay. That's it's gonna feel like that at moments where you feel like you're not doing a great job as a mom because you're so stressed or you're so tired, and you feel like you need that extra support, and that's okay. I had to get my baby because she woke up. But going back to not letting influencers determine how you should feel, because at the end of the day, they're doing things to get paid. So it's kind of like a job. So that's how you have to see it. You know, they're doing it for a purpose, and the purpose is to get views, to get likes. And that's not what usual mothers do, right? Like, we're just working, we're just doing all these things around the house, taking care of our babies, and we're not doing it to get a paycheck, right? So I want to normalize how stressful and how hard it is to be a mom, and the same thing goes with how, maybe as your new mom, maybe as a new mom, you might think, oh, I need to get this for my baby in order for them to be happy, to be a better mom. Like, all that is BS. All the stuff that people post online for you to buy is so fake. Like, you do not need a bunch of stuff for a newborn. And I'm telling you this because this is my third baby. And I noticed that no matter what, they just need the essential things. Like, don't let people fool you into buying all this crazy stuff that they might not even use. And if they do use it, it's for like a month or so. One thing specifically are the chairs. Like, you can buy expensive chairs, let's say, for like $200, $300. And do you think that they're going to enjoy it more than a cheap chair? I can confirm to you that expensive chairs doesn't equal more comfort. Trust me. And it seems like babies have a preference for like those cheap chairs that you see, let's say, at Walmart, Target. Those small chairs, I'm going to put a picture here, so you can see. Like, I have one for all my daughters, and then my second daughter, we got a new one as a gift, which was the for moms. And to be honest, my baby didn't even want to sit on there, and it was more expensive, right? And the same thing happened with this baby. I saved it, and I put her on there, and she does not like it. So what does that say? That tells you that just because it's more expensive doesn't mean that the baby is gonna like it more, right? And it shows you that, babies don't know how much things cost. So the quality for them is more like, okay, where do I feel more comfortable? Does it matter how much it costs to them? No, because they have no way to know how much it costs, right? So don't go crazy buying stuff. Don't go crazy believing that all the stuff that people tell you to buy, like, oh, you need this, you need that, nah, you don't. You don't need expensive things for newborns, because one, they're not going to use it for long, and then you have to replace it, right? And two, there's other things that you have to focus on that they need, right? Might be like clothing, could be, milk, formula, like if you're not breastfeeding. And that's another thing, right? When people are overly, having such a huge supply of milk, like breast milk, that's not realistic. Sometimes, you can supply such a small amount for a certain amount of time, and that's okay. Don't put that pressure on yourself either. So it's all these things that for new moms, I think it's a scary experience, because you don't have a lot of knowledge, right, about having a kid. So when you see all these people posting things about, breastfeeding and over supplying, and buying all this stuff, it makes you question, like, okay, am I going to be a good mom? Am I not? Because I'm not providing all the things that they call essentials, right? And they're not essentials. Like, the essential things that you need is a place for your baby to sleep, clothing so they can be warm, bottles, and diapers and wipes. Those are literally like the essentials, plus, formula, or if you're breastfeeding. But everything else is really not essential. Like, a baby can sit on the floor with like a blanket if you don't have that much money. But even like a chair, like a small chair that I'm telling you about, those are not super expensive. They're like really affordable. So when people tell you that you need to buy, let's say, 5-6 chairs, or 2 chairs are like $100, no, not even $100, because now $100 is nothing, but let's say $500 and up, right? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, the baby is only going to use that for less than 6 months, right? Because after 6 months, they're usually like learning to walk. They already can sit stable, and then you need to get like a high chair and things like that. So my point is, like, don't let all these influencers lie to you, right? Because that's not reality. You're a new mom, and sometimes we, as a new mom, you can tend to believe things because people are telling you, oh yeah, this is what I need. And then you see it like from so many influencers, then your mind will actually think that you need that to be a better mom. You don't. You're going to be a great mom. And stuff doesn't determine if you're going to be a great mom. You just need the essentials. And the essentials are the things that I mentioned. Like, those are the things that really are the most important thing to cover them, like a blanket, clothing, food wise, and all those things. But other than that, having like a crazy expensive, let's say, stroller, like if you're not going to be going on walks, even if you are, right, like you don't need a $1,000 stroller. Like, if you have the money for it, fine. But if you don't, and you have to like think about how much you're going to spend, then that means that you can't afford that, right? Like you have to be realistic. Can I afford to buy this chair if it's like $400 or $500? If you have to think about the price, that means that you shouldn't get it, right? Like that's the bottom line. If you have to think about how much it costs, you can't afford it. You cannot. So my point is, don't let them fool you. Like, you will do a great job. And it's up to you to realize what is real, what is not. You're not going to sleep. And you're probably not going to sleep way before the baby's born. That happened to me the 3 times that I was pregnant. When you start feeling like you're so big, you're not comfortable. Like, sleep becomes something that is hard to go back to sleep when you have this huge belly, and you don't find that comfortable spot because either you have also heartburn. Like, that was like the worst thing for me. Like, that happened throughout all my 3 pregnancies, and I couldn't stand that, and I had heartburn not the entire pregnancy, but I would say after I was like 5-6 months, that's when I started feeling it. And it was horrible because even if I was like sitting up, I will feel it. Laying down, I'll feel it even more. So yeah, it's a lot of things that you have to expect, right? Because it's pregnancy. Everybody's different. You might not experience that, but the point is to be able to understand that what people are selling you, because at the end of the day, influencers are selling you something. And if they're selling you a fake lie of how their life is as a new mom or how their life is as a pregnant person, they still selling you that. And by selling it, that means that you have to believe it. And that's how you buy it, by believing that whatever they're selling you is true, right? So if they're selling you this lifestyle, right, of how motherhood is, you're buying it because you're believing into that. You're believing their story. You're believing their narrative that everything is perfect, that they wake up super relaxed at nighttime, that they wake up super early at 5 a.m. to prep for the day when they have a newborn. Like, just thinking about it makes me think like, man, like, how fake can they be, right? But like I said, sometimes people assume that that's the reality when they don't have any experience with that. And I just want you to know that that's not accurate. You will be able to do so many things for your kids, and you don't need to have that picture perfect, because picture perfect doesn't equal normal lifestyle, right? Like, a normal lifestyle is being tired, trying to figure out your next step when it comes to work. Like, if you had to go back to work, the stress that comes with trying to figure out, okay, who's going to babysit my baby? Who's going to take care of that person or that little person, right? Can I use a family member? Can I find a babysitter, or can I put them in daycare? There's a lot of people that send them to daycare, right? But it's not because they want to. Sometimes because they have no choice because of work, right? And that's another stressful thing there as well. You see also influencers where they do take their kids to, let's say, I don't know, daycare. And sometimes, that's could be the reality. but most times it's not, right? Like it's difficult to think about having to take your kids to daycare when they're so little, right? And that right there is stressful, and I want you to know that that's a process, right? If you are a working person, working woman, and you have to go back to work, that's a fear, that's a normal anxiety that you're gonna feel, where you're gonna be wondering, like, is my baby gonna be okay? Are they gonna be taken care of the right way? Or if it's just like a nanny or a babysitter that you're gonna bring to the house, are they gonna be okay without me? Am I gonna feel okay being at work and not taking care of them? Like, there's a lot to think about. So those are the stressful things that mom have to think about before going back to work, and it's a lot. So you have to be kind to yourself. Don't let people fool you into believing that that's an easy task. It's not easy. It's gonna be hard as hell. There's gonna be times that you're probably gonna be crying, and that happens to a lot of us. You're gonna cry. You're gonna feel out of place. You're gonna feel like you don't know who you are. Like, you don't know where you belong. Like, you're still adjusting. Your body is still adjusting inside, physically. Your mind is still trying to figure out, how are you a mom now, right? Like, that's a normal feeling, and we need to normalize that, because it's tough, and just because you have more kids doesn't mean, like, they say this is my third, doesn't mean it's gonna get easier. It might get a little bit easier because I have more experience, but it's still challenging. It's not as easy as people make it seem when you have more than one child. So it's just hard. It's hard work, and it's work that is worth it for sure. But don't let nobody fool you about how motherhood's supposed to look like. Even me, like, the way I see motherhood might be different the way that you're gonna see it. So just stay with yourself, so you can try to figure out, how does motherhood look for you. If it means like chilling and then taking advantage of every moment that you can, good. If it means like trying to take advantage of every moment that you can to clean, to do this, good. It's like whatever you want it to look like. So your reality of how motherhood should look like should be based on how you want it to look like, not what somebody else is trying to sell to you, right? And it should look like the way that you want it to look like, not how other people want you to see it, right? It should look like the way you want, let's say, motherhood to look like. It's not the way that other influencers want you to believe, right? Want you to think about. So motherhood is really hard, and it takes a lot of effort, but you also have to remind yourself that you are in a process. Any process takes time. So you can't rush. You can't be, oh, I need to look this way. And I have thought about that too. Even though I know deep down that that's not realistic, I know it takes a lot of effort to, one, lose weight, two, to create a routine, three, to feel like yourself. Like, there's so many things that I know, and even me knowing, it's hard for me sometimes to push back and be like, oh no, like you need to chill. Like, it takes effort, it takes time, right? Like, you can't push it. You need to slow down. Losing weight is not gonna happen overnight, and your body's healing, and that's something that I had to remind myself. My body is healing. It's only been 4 months, and I can't be like thinking that I'm gonna look my best when I'm like, wow, 5 months, next month or so. No, like, I had to take my time, and you have to take your time, because if you don't take your time, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, I didn't really enjoy it, because you have all this stuff in your head that is not letting you focus on what's important. What's important? Being there for your baby, being there for yourself, for your family, in a healthy way, and allowing them to be there for you. Because if they can help you by taking care of your child here and there, and you can take, sometimes to just relax, to sleep, it's like a little break that is needed. Me sitting here and talking to you guys is like a little break for me from this space, right? From this normal taking care of somebody else, right? Because being a caretaker is like really hard. So especially when like nurses and anybody that's like, in daycare, schools, you're taking care of somebody else in a way, especially nurses, and that's a tough job. Mothers are the same. It's a tough job. You're constantly thinking about that caretaking mentality where you feel like you have to take care of somebody else, and then you become last. So if you have the chance to be by yourself or be with your partner and just take a moment to just, enjoy and reflect, and just, even if it's just hanging out, take it, because we need it. You need that time. You need that space. So guys or ladies, I hope this video was useful for you. If you like it, please, if you really enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe. I'm gonna keep talking about other things when it comes to motherhood. I know that this channel is mostly about trips with my family and things like that. I also wanted to be part of motherhood because that's really something really important to me. Not just having, trips and, looking at hotels and reviews and whatnot, but motherhood is really important. And I think that we need more people to talk about honest feelings when it comes to motherhood and how tough it is, because we need to support each other and let people know that it is okay to sometimes not feel okay. And I just want you to know that don't believe everything you see on social media. It's not reality. They're selling something, and it's up to you if you want to buy it. And I don't mean physically buy it, because sometimes, you can physically buy something because they're putting it there for you to buy. Oh, click on here, click on there, or whatever. But I mean in a way that it is emotionally buying something that they're telling you, right? You got this. You have resources out there that can help you. You also might have family members, friends, some sort of support group that can help you, be more present with yourself, so you don't, get fooled by what people are posting. And also have a break in between. Like if you feel like you're watching too many social media stories, reels, or whatever, take a break from it. Obviously the algorithm is going to keep posting things that is going to push you away from your reality. And what we want is to be present with the things that are happening to us now and what we believe in. And if we believe that our current narrative and our story is hard as a mother, then that's where you're at now. Because when we see it from somebody else and the other person is telling us, no, it's perfect, it's like the best to have a baby, and I'm not stressed, I'm relaxed, I'm eating healthy, I'm working out early in the morning, I got this. That's not realistic. So let's go back to going back to normalizing that it is hard to have a newborn, and to have an infant, right? So let's do this. You can do it, and just don't let nobody fool you, because life is short, and you have to focus on yourself, and you have to focus on your baby, and we don't need fakeness happening here. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video. So please subscribe and like, so you can see more videos like this. Want to share more of my motherhood, my experience as a mom. So I hope you guys like it. So talk to you soon. Bye.